Vogue. He says Kim is an undisputed fashion icon.
She is just, pitch perfect because what she does, it may seem trashy or flashy or flamboyant, but it's just pushing all the buttons to create something that's...
I love people. It's not the fashion. It's the people in fashion I love.
So let's start with Laella Mafia in 2002. So after stepping away from Diddy and Junior Mafia and Misa Hilton, Lil Kim started to find herself, I would say more so personally who she was. Not saying who she was not her before, but she was without kind of help. She was kind of just like by herself. Of course she had different stylists here and there, but it wasn't no one that she was kind of strictly partnered. Mind you, in 2002, a lot of fashion styles was kind of reminiscing the 1960s. A lot of them were wearing the low-rise jeans, colored neck shirts, peasant tops, capri pants, crop jackets, and dress over jeans. It was like popular dressed out choices of women during that time, paired with a lot of chunky belts and aviator sunglasses, jelly bracelets, ballet flats, belts around the neck, and more so like that. During 2001 going into 2002, Kim was in her ginger era. So it was still riding off the coattails of Notorious K.I.M., but she was definitely gearing up for Bella Mafia and riding off the heels of the hit song Lady Marmalade. She would rock the orange hair at the Grammys, Carson Daly Show, and Joanna Man appearances. She also wore it in her Maxim magazine cover, which was really huge at the time. You see her rocking low-waist jeans and belts as tops and high boots with bathing suits. So she was still in that sexy era. I also wanted to mention her Chanel moments from, at the Grammys, but wearing ready-to-wear Chanel collection in 2002 just at the studio, or when she wore this terry cloth Chanel number just out and about. She was also still being known for her fashion globally. She would travel to Tokyo, Japan, and shop there and spend like almost $40,000. And while she appreciated their style, they also appreciated hers. As we move later into 2002, we started seeing the colorful hair disappear and her going back to her dark roots. And during this era, she was definitely getting ready to release Bella Mafia. She was not really wearing color contacts as much as she was previously wearing, and she started to wear more jewelry than ever during this time, I would say.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
And Kim's got a whole lot of friends.
This is over $5 million worth of Harry Winston's jewelry. They've been great to me.
During this era, Kim was extremely loved by fashion houses and designers. They were still loving her off of that. She was kind of already a solidified icon. She helped introduce Birkins, where she named them in certain songs in Bella Mafia. She was rocking a high petite patent boots. Started wearing custom chinchilla mink coats. She had wore those in '96, but she started bringing those back around in 2003. Like I said, she was wearing more jewelry than ever. She was wearing $5 million worth of jewelry at the BET Awards. So Kim was definitely in her flashy era. She loved wearing stuff like Dietz sunglasses. She was wearing John Galliano, which was one of her good friend of hers. She was wearing Roberto Cavalli. So while she was known for Chanel, Gucci, and Dolce & Gabbana, but she was also still venturing out into different fashion brands. She was still in her magazine bag. She was the first black woman to be on the cover of Nylon magazine in 2003. While the looks were toned back, she was still her over-the-top self with having $100 bills on her nails and wearing a money dress on the cover of a Honey magazine. She also during this time got acknowledged as a fashion icon by the Mobo Awards, where she also hosted as well, and she rocking different fire look. These are some of my favorite fashion moments that she had in 2003. I really loved during this time she was rocking a lot of different hairstyles. Although she had black hair, she was definitely switching up the looks, like from ponytails to big hair to straight to kinkle to curly to a side part. Like Kim was still experimenting. It really showed that Kim didn't need colorful hair, but she could just rock a black look and still keep it new, fresh, and fun. Some of my favorite looks was of course the chinchilla mink coat with the matching bikini with the Dior belt. She was wearing a lot of customs during this era, and the Came Back For You video. Like every look in there was amazing. The monochrome green hair, she brought that back. The Louis Vuitton jacket, Jump Off music video. Her wearing Roberto Cavalli for a photo shoot. this denim look that she wore on the Carson Daly show. It was Costa and Puro jeans. One of the last ones was definitely when she performed at Summer Jam wearing Jean Paul Gaultier, a two-piece with the Jean Paul Gaultier accessories, the glasses, just the whole aura with wearing shark boots, and just being on different covers during this time, from King magazine to One World magazine. She was definitely still owning her place as Lil Kim, the icon, the cover girl. As we entered 2004, Kim was around 28 during this era. So this time she was entering her fully grown woman, I think, era during that time, because you're leaving your 20s and you're going in your 30s. So you're kind of more so like, she's going out, still sexy Kim, but kind of like shifting it in a way. She was still performing, you know, singles from Bella Mafia and of course her hits, but you know, she started to switch from black to more so brown and back to the blonde. It was colorful, but she kept it natural. She was still being fashionable. She was also still attending a lot of fashion shows more than ever kind of during this time. She was rocking her labels and wearing her Birkins. That's when you really see her wearing Birkins. I mean, she was wearing them before, but like you can see them like her coming out of like the federal building wearing a Birkin. During this time was very interesting for Kim because she was unfortunately getting out of an abusive relationship that kind of altered her appearance, but she was still looking amazing, of course. You know, she was also having friendships with Marc Jacobs.
Yes, Fashion Week is actually coming up in like a week and a half. Marc Jacobs is a very close friend of mine. I've been friends with him for years, and he loves me. I love him too, and he made these t-shirts, and it says Marc Jacobs loves Lil Kim.
While also facing legal trouble. So Kim had her ups, you know, still being a solidified icon and being labeled as a legend during this time and a veteran. Now we're entering the court era, which is the 2004 to 2005. Kim was being personally styled by Marc Jacobs during this time while in court between May 2004 and May 2005 before she was sentenced. Kim was probably one of the first to really use court appearances kind of like a fashion show. The style was very luxury casual with statement pieces, whether it was her hair, her bag, her belts as an accessory. Yeah, she was going through hard times, but Kim was still making sure she put that on. This also spills to the Naked Truth era, although she didn't have as much time as previously because she went to jail, unfortunately, where she was unfortunately sentenced to a year and a day. Kim would still make sure you knew who she was a fashion girl at heart. Kim wore a lot of less jewelry during this time, very simplistic, like, you know, earrings, maybe a necklace, nothing too showcasey. Her hair was either black or brown with highlights. She wore a lot of natural makeup, but during this time she was solidified as a legend and an icon, so she was wearing stuff straight off the runway, from Michael Kors to Versace to Marc Jacobs. You could see that in her music videos like Lighters Up. She was definitely into dresses during this time, and I think it was also because she was going through the legal trouble. She wanted to, you know, dress down, be a little bit more modest. So that's the Naked Truth / court era. Now let's get into after jail. Now a lot of people felt like Kim fell off during this time, but I feel like Kim was definitely still rocking things. I think a lot of people didn't really pay attention, you know, because she wasn't at the height, but she still was Lil Kim. Don't get it twisted. You know, after coming home, Kim's style, specifically between 2006 and 2008, it was very similar to 2005. Of course, classy with a lot of designer dresses, being hair colors between black, brown, and light brown. She was still in circulation of award shows like the MTV Awards, BET, and getting back into the public eye, being on a Pussycat Dolls show, and just getting back to that line, and being sexy with her cover of the Miss Goat era, where she wore the fur and the bikini with the boots, kind of reminiscent of her 1996 poster. In 2009, Kim was getting back to her sexy era though, because in 2008 was a little bit, she was still after jail, so it was sexy, but it was still modest. But I feel like during 2009, 2010, it was very like sexy, you know, very showcased the body. I feel like it had to do with Dancing on the Stars because she was definitely in shape more than ever. She changed her hair to straight black, jet black to be specific. She was re-wearing some of her vintage pieces, doing major club appearances. She was one of the first celebrities to get paid to do a lot of the club appearances during this era. She was rocking a lot of mini skirts, of course dresses, but they were very short, not kind of like the a little bit of over the knee dresses that she wore previously, but she was wearing a lot of Herve Leger dresses. She was even wearing lingerie in her performances. And she was also, during the 2009-2010 era, she was working on her clothing line called 24/7 Star.
We're not mainstream yet with the clothing line. Tonight you will get to see for the first time a sneak peek, a really small, short sneak peek of 24/7 Star Goddess Collection by Lil Kim.
She did a fashion show in North Carolina. Now we're going to go into her more so silo era, where she was kind of to herself. 2011 to 2017, you know, she was in her own bag. You know, she was more so to herself during this time because she had a lot of haters and getting unnecessary hate. During this time, Kim fashion was very casual. She would do pop-up appearances and have big moments, but she kind of kept it simplistic fashion-wise compared to her previous looks before. And I definitely, you know, it had to do with like her age as well. She was getting older, so she probably was like, let me tone it down. During this era, she loved Louboutins or a nice boot. She loved, whether it was from Tom Ford or Givenchy. She kept her hair really between black or brown this era. Never nothing in between. She wasn't really in the colorful looks. So this era was very simplistic. It was very like monotone. You know, she wore, you know, different things, different pieces. It was kind of definitely adapting to the times. But she wasn't really exploring a lot during this time. It was very just definitely to herself, and she was becoming a mom, so I guess it was just a lot of factors during that time. It wasn't her most fashion forward era. But to present day, I feel like Kim is kind of paying homage to all of her eras. So this is the 9 era, where her long-awaited project, I think it's been from 2005 to 14 years in between, was a long gap in between, and that was because of, you know, the music business, being independent and things like that. I personally still think 9 is kind of like an EP, more so an album, but it's kind of categorized as an official, you know, release. So we definitely seen a shift in Kim. Kim slowly started to turn back what she was known for. Kim would rock monochrome looks at the V-Files fashion show, the yellow hair, yellow corset, returning to the fashion shows more frequently, wearing excessive jewelry, you know, the Queen Bee pendant, the Lil Kim earrings, other jewelry that she had, the butterfly ring, different necklaces, designer hair. She wore that, she kind of recreated the Chanel gray look, which was another kind of fashion point, and that kind of like broke the internet. If you know, you know. And bringing back her colorful hair. You know, Kim wasn't really rocking colorful hair from between 2011 and 2017. It wasn't really her thing. I think she felt like someone else took that style, so she was like, "That I already did that. You can have that." But Kim was like, I think this time she was kind of like in her renaissance and kind of like reclaiming a lot of things she had done previously, and then reclaiming what a lot of people was benefiting off of. During this time, Kim was combining what she was known for the flamboyant style, but and color rocking, but also still kind of being aware of who she is and her, like, you know, her demographic. During this time, from 2019 to now, she was on notable campaigns like Telfar and MCM. She also was working with brands recently like Supreme, wear Lil Kim shirts. This is not one of hers, but I have a Lil Kim shirt upstairs. I should have worn that one instead of this one. But anyway, and Mac is developing coats. During this time, she was still gracing covers too. You know, she been doing brand deals and still performing in more so sexier outfits. So Kim, during this time, I feel like, again, it's her renaissance era. It's her reclaiming things that she was once known before and getting back to who she was. But she's still moving like she did in her previous era.
Iconic Kim look.
If I had to pick 3, it would be the purple pasty, the Louis Vuitton, and the open leg bikini leopard hardcore vest.
Overall, to me, Kim is one of the most fashionable, impactful, and overall exhilarating rappers to ever appear, and artists. This woman's impact can never be denied, and it's the one, the only Kimberly Denise Jones. So thank you guys for watching. That was analyzing the fashion eras. I would definitely have more to come. I think next we're doing Rihanna, so stay tuned. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all in my next video. Peace.